Enjoy the action at Dinamo Minsk against Hearts in the Conference League with Alan Preston and Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Kenny. Good evening, everyone. It is a strange start indeed to Hearts' Conference League campaign. They've come to Sumgait, an hour north of Azerbaijan's capital, Baku, to take on Belarusian champions Dinamo Minsk behind closed doors, and a bit of a throwback to the COVID times. And the man who led them to this point, Stephen Naismith, is gone to boot. It's 10 games without a win for Hearts. Will tonight be the night they get that precious first victory of the season? Minsk, though, will provide stiff opposition. They're in good form, won 4 of their last 5 games, and those 4 wins without conceding as well. They are fairly strong defensively, although it's always hard to judge the strength of a league like Belarus's, but certainly in their own domestic game they are very strong. And to be fair, in Europe as well, they went into the Champions League qualifiers as winners of their domestic league, and went through one round before losing narrowly to Ludogorets of Bulgaria, and then also in dropping into the Europa League, eventually put out by Anderlecht, but only 2-0 on aggregate. Anderlecht, of course, a very strong and experienced team at European level, so that's an indication of what a test Minsk will pose. They will be stubborn, and they do have some quality as well. Hearts, of course, with 3 changes to the team that drew with Ross County at the weekend. So lining up with Craig Gordon in the goals, who extends his record run of European appearances for Hearts. No one has played more in Europe for the club. He's in goals. Adam Forrester, after making his debut at right back at the weekend, he stays in the side. Frankie Kent, Kai Rolls inside him. James Penrice comes in on the other side. Devlin, Beningame and Spittle, the midfield 3. Spittle in for George Grant, who's on the bench. Alan Forrest and Barry Mackay either side of Lawrence Shankland, with Vargas dropping out. So the players are lined up and ready to go in Sumgait's empty stadium to contend with. It will be strange for the players, both sets of players, of course, and Minsk, and this is their notional home game, but playing almost 2,000 miles from Belarus, and their recent record away from Minsk isn't great. They've not won in their last 4 away from their home ground, so that could be a positive hint for Hearts, but they have to go and do the job as they await kick-off here and the verdict of the referee, the Swedish referee Mohamed Al Hakim, in the middle with his Swedish assistants and the VAR officials from Italy this evening, Marco De Bello, the VAR, and the game gets underway. Hearts really could do with a victory this evening. 10 without a win. It's the first time they've gone 10 without a win at the start of a campaign. Unwanted history as it's played forwards, and Alan Forrest makes a run, but it's headed up in the air by Sachivko, and then it's back for Forrester, the B-team captain, who's continued at right back. Kent square to Kai Rolls, left now to Penrice at left back, who goes long and direct. It's flicked into the Minsk box, but the goalkeeper Lapakov comes and claims it comfortably. 19 clean sheets and 32 appearances for him this season, the Belarus international, as Minsk tried to come forward through Demichenko, but Beningame has it midway through his own half. Back to Kent and square to Rolls, and out to Penrice at left back. And early signs are Minsk are not going to press too high, Alan. They're maybe going to sit off a wee bit.
Yeah, they are. They're sitting off and just letting Hearts have the ball. Hearts playing a lot of long balls. Just Forrest with an opportunity to play it into the box, but it's really strange. It's like a friendly match, you know. Not one piece of crowd there at all. It's not great, but it's an opportunity for Hearts here.
Yeah, Alan Forrest managed to hook the ball in, but it was cleared. Hearts have it on the right hand side now. Forrester just in from the touchline, he gives it infield and then he goes down. There's a foul and Hearts will get the free kick. Late challenge from Demichenko, the 22-year-old's Belarusian, and he's trying to help Cami Devlin to his feet and apologise for the challenge, but it was a late one and a chance for Hearts to swing this into the box. Goalless after 2 minutes in Sumgait, and Barry Mackay has come across. Cami Devlin is there as well, as the 2 players have a think about who's going to whip this in. Shankland's in the box, lurking as always, and it will be the right foot of Barry Mackay, and he's put it
dreadful,
miles over the bar,
dreadful.
Alan.
You know what? that sums Barry Mackay up recently. That's shocking. It's a free kick. It's 30 yards out on the right-hand side. Hearts load the box and he just kicks it over the bar.
Yeah, it was not even close to any player on the park, never mind a teammate. It's poor from Barry Mackay, and he's been trusted to start this evening by Liam Fox. He'll need to improve on that early showing as the goalkeeper Lapakov goes long for Minsk. It's forward into the path of Alfred, the number 9 for Minsk, but it's cleared by Hearts. But Ningami goes in on Amian, the midfielder, and Hearts win it, and it's coming forward through Spittle. Now Forrest, middle of the pitch, moving towards the edge of the box. It's Alan Forrest looking for the pass out wide to Forrester, who hits it and behind for the goal kick. I thought that might have taken a nick, but it's just a sliced cross from Adam Forrester and behind.
Nah, it's not a great piece of play by Forrester in the end. He does well to get up. Forrest drives at the left back, times his run lovely, Forrester, but then gets it horribly wrong. And does it take a bobble? Not so sure, but that's poor as well. He's ran 70, 80 yards, gets in a really good position, and then wastes the cross in the end.
0-0, 3.5 minutes into this Conference League match, and you have to say, as Minsk come forward on the right-hand side of the box, Alfred's waiting in the middle for a cross. It's cut back to Amian on the edge of the box. Doesn't have time to get a shot away because Beningami's in there breaking up play. Puts a challenge in, as he so often does. Cleared down the park by Hearts, all the way to Lapakov, the goalkeeper.
It's been a decent start though from Hearts. They've had a bit of the ball, free kick wasted, chance for a cross wasted, but they've been the better side. You know, they've won their battles. Rose's won a header, Kent's won his header, Beningami's looking good again.
As that's flicked through to Craig Gordon. Remarkable return to the Scotland squads announced this week, Craig Gordon. And Steve Clarke did say, Gordon said to him after that Finland game where we all thought he was waving farewell, that he would be back, and he is back. 75 caps, and back in the mix for the upcoming games against Croatia and Portugal.
Yeah, we actually had this discussion a number of weeks back on Open All Mics, just to see what Steve Clarke would do, and it's great that he's picked him. It really is. I believe when he played his last game for Scotland and he had done a really emotional speech in front of all the players, and they thought that was it, but he's remarkable. He's been a remarkable keeper and still is a remarkable keeper.
Career of comebacks, injuries, and just never says die. Craig Gordon. It's Minsk with a throw in midway through the Hearts half, thrown by Lopez, the left back, flicked on by Alfred, and he's jumped all over Forrester, and so the referee gives Hearts a free kick down on the right hand side next to their own penalty area.
I think that'll certainly help. You know, young Adam Forrester is on Liam Fox's side. Liam Fox knows him, B team manager of Hearts, and he'll talk the young man through. It's great. You know, if he's on the far side, sometimes it's difficult. Although there's no crowd there tonight, but it's still difficult to get instructions on. He can talk him through the game. This young man will be nervous. It's only his second game, but it was remarkable. I thought it was excellent on Saturday for Hearts.
Yeah, played over 60 times with the B team in the last couple of seasons, but obviously the Lowland League is one thing, stepping up to Premiership and then Conference League level. He's done okay so far, as Blair Spittle can't get on the end of that, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Dinamo Minsk. 5, nearly 6 played, and it's goalless here in Hearts' opening Conference League game. And although the form has been dreadful this season, you look at the games on paper, and you know, Hearts definitely have a chance to at least get to the playoff round, finish in the top 24 to try and give themselves a knockout tie.
I think that the home games are going to be the ones where you hopefully pick your points up. But if you can get points on the road, that's an opportunity tonight. We don't know about this side at all, Thomas. So we'll see how they are. They look okay, but they're certainly not streets ahead of Hearts just now.
No, here comes Timochenko. He's twisting and turning just in Hearts' half. It's down to Lopez in the left-hand touchline. A couple of yards in, it's played in the field, but Rolls comes across and only half clears, and it's sent back first time, and that's just going to be allowed to bounce at the back for Hearts. Plenty of time, a couple of touches, and played up the touchline in the air. Forrest has made a run, but Shanklin can't get the flick on. It's in the middle of the park, but Ningami raises a leg to challenge. It's bouncing it back at the back for Hearts, and then Rolls leaves it for Gordon. He was a bit uncertain there.
I think he thought Rolls was going to head it. I honestly did. I thought he was going to head it back there, and he lets it go. Craig Gordon comes out, he gets a kick in the hand as well. Craig, thankfully he's okay.
Yeah, I think we were all expecting the header there. He had plenty of time just to nod it into Craig Gordon's path, but he opted to shield it, but didn't cost Hearts in the end. It was comfortable enough. And as Rolls fires it forward, or tries to, it's intercepted, picked off. Minsk have it right back through Pigas. Plays the 1-2 right on the touchline midway through his own half. Turns to evade the challenge and knocks it back to centre half. Politevich, and the goalkeeper's taking a poor touch there, and Shanklin was on him, but he just squeezes it away, and they've worked it right to Lopez on the left-hand side, and then he's miscontrolled it out. Good pressure from Hearts.
Yeah, very good, very good. Initially, the keeper takes a heavy touch. Shanklin's on it, tries to close him down. Keeper knocks it to the left back. He takes a heavy touch. Forrest is next on him. Hearts have won a throw-in just outside the 18-yard box.
8 minutes played. Dinamo 0, Hearts 0, and that's poor though. 1-2 from the throw-in. Forrest back to Forrester, and the pass wasn't great, and it's out for a throw into Minsk. And Hearts, oh, it's been positive, and I think Craig Gordon maybe got a little boot on the hand as he gathered that ball that we talked about with Rolls earlier, so we'll monitor that. Probably can just shake it off. But Lopez for Minsk takes the throw in back to his left centre half, and back to Lapakov, the goalkeeper, who goes long. Amian picks up in midfield but dispossessed. Minsk have it back to the right hand side, and Vadim Pigas, the Belarus international, he's crossed the halfway line with the ball, puts an early cross in low towards the edge of the box. It sits up and it's headed into the area, and Hearts have to do some defending. Penrice is back out to the right hand side. Curled cross comes in, flicked away by Rolls. Then Demichenko has it edge of the box, curls it in towards Alfred, who gets a header on it. It's up in the air. Hearts don't deal with it in their box. It's allowed to bounce again, and eventually it's hooked clear down towards the halfway line as Shanklin tries to win it, but he loses out. And then Minsk come forward again. Just a wee bit uncertain Hearts at the back as Minsk come forwards through Zherdev, and good defending in the end, and Hearts try to work the counter-attack. Yeah, very good defending. Young Forrester is one-on-one. He's got to defend his bit, and he does that very, very well. Strike comes in over the bar. That's Barry Mackay. It sat up nicely for him, but he did have two defenders in front of him as Hearts went direct, and he's smashed it into the empty stands. I think when you see men, as soon as Hearts get the ball at the back, they just drop off. They drop into their shape. They're quite comfortable letting Hearts have the ball at the back, you know, and then like that opportunity there, it's a long ball again. Mackay coming off his touchline, going narrow and hitting the ball over the top of the crossbar. Yeah, first time they've faced a British side in European competition, Minsk. And as I said, it's unsettling for them as well. They played all their European games so far this season in Hungary, but opted to move this one to Azerbaijan due to good relations between Belarus and Azerbaijan, and also direct flights. And they did play a qualifier here last season as well. I think it's the furthest there is in Europe. It's the furthest anyone goes. Yeah, right in the Caspian Sea, right on the border with Asia. And you've got Iran and Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan over the sea, not too far away, as Hearts have the ball in the centre circle. Spread wide to the left. Mackay. And back to Kai Rolls. Takes a touch in his own half. Goes across to Frankie Kent in the centre circle. Holds up with the studs. Minsk just sitting off with the exception of Alfred, the centre forward. Beningame now, centre circle in the Minsk territory. Rolls. Spreads it to Mackay on the left-hand side. And it's fired into the box, but it skips away in behind for a goal kick. Hearts still just been okay, but searching for that quality in the final third, Alan. They are, and there's a pass over hit by Barry Mackay again, right out the park for a bye kick. But we just touched on it, Tom. As soon as Hearts get the ball, Minsk drop off, they leave the one striker up, the 9 outfield players drop into shape, and they say Hearts, are you good enough to play through us? And at the moment, it's not been the case. It's been a lot of long balls, hit diagonal, trying to hit Shankland if they can. Hearts need to be a bit more clever than that. 11 and a half on the clock. 0-0 between Minsk and Hearts. They are a defensive team, Minsk, no question. I mentioned just 20 goals conceded in their 34 competitive outings this season, as Alfred takes it in the Hearts half and turns well. He's looking for an option with Zherdev, but that's really good defending as Hearts step in and clear. And then the challenge comes in for Forrester. Really good sliding challenge to win the throw-in, or to put it out for the throw-in, I should say, as Lopez claims it was fouled, but the referee didn't give that. He started well, Adam Forrester. There's 2 or 3 really good challenges. That one again, perfectly fair. Wins the ball. Looks a really good athlete. Alan.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I've seen him play for the B team. He does. He gets up and down that right-hand side. He's a good player, and it's great that Liam Fox obviously is the B team manager. He's got faith in him. He knows what these young boys can do, and that's what was probably overlooked before. Stephen was the B team manager, didn't really play any of the younger boys. Aidan Denham's now out on loan. Macaulay Tate's on the bench. Hardly got any minutes. So Liam Fox has gone in and he's went straight away. You're better than what we've got. It right back with Taylor being out long term. In you come, and he's done great so far.
Rai Lopez getting some treatment here, but yeah, that's the frustration, Alan. We've talked about it, how few opportunities Scottish players get. They've brought in Daniel Oyegoke. You don't want to write him off after only a couple of months, but he's 21 years old, a young player they've brought in on a 3-year deal, as you mentioned, and you've got a guy in the B team who could potentially perform to as good a standard.
Well, that's it. Sometimes we overlook what we've got in-house, and there's nothing better for any sexy fans, certainly including Hearts fans, to bring through your own. If you can bring through your own, it saves the club a lot of money. They have a feeling, they know what it's like, what the demands are at that football club. Is when you get someone from down south or from abroad, it takes time to settle in. They're moving to a new environment, a new league. They maybe not settle. There's a lot of factors when you sign a player. This way, you've got a homegrown one. They know what's expected of them.
Lopez is off, but he looks like he's fit to continue as the throw-in came in, and it's back out for another throw to Minsk down in line with the Hearts box. Lopez, the Brazilian left back, 5 assists this season. He is a good attacking outlet for Minsk down that left hand side. Pigas down the right, a bit more conservative. He's going to take this throw in. Lopez and gets it back, tries to take a touch away, but it's a good challenge from Devlin, and it'll be out for another throw in. But Minsk with the ball in Hearts half. Hearts have had a couple of sights of goal, but nothing near the target so far, as Shanklin tries to take it down about 25 yards out, facing his own goal, and Forrest can only sclaff it out the park. And Hearts just a bit scrappy in the last couple of minutes. 14 played, 0-0.
With this new format as well, you're not playing the teams home and away, you just wonder if clubs will go for it more. Because you think if this is a two-legged affair, Hearts is fine, it's 0-0. But with this, it's you get the 3 points, you get the prize money. You're not playing this team again. I wonder if there comes a spell in the game where you think we're going to have a right go if it's still tight.
On paper, at least, this is the weakest opposition as well. They were the pot 6 team, so 3 points here, as difficult as it is, would be huge for Hearts. They've got Omanoya of Cyprus coming up at the end of October at Tynecastle. Then Heidenheim of the Bundesliga started well. They're nestled in behind Borussia Dortmund in the embryonic Bundesliga table.
Say that.
But so had a great season last season. Small club, Heidenheim, but they've been punching above their weight for the last couple of years in Germany. They come to Tynecastle next month before Bruges as well. Trips to Bruges and Copenhagen, and a home game against Petra Cup of Moldova at Tynecastle as well. Headed away by Rolls. Hearts have it in their own half. Played forward, but again, the pass isn't good enough, and Minsk pick it off pretty comfortably. And then a sliding challenge goes in. Here's Beningame, centre circle, twisting and turning and looking for a pass. He's done well, Beningame. Faces forward, gives it to Devlin. Now it's wide to Alan Forrest, and the inside ball, Shankland, heavy touch, and Amian makes the tackle. Played forward by Minsk. Kent's there, gives it to Forrester, who goes back to Kai Rolls. 0-0, 16 minutes played between Dinamo Minsk and Hearts. Beningame, centre circle, Minsk half.
I think that's better. They need to try and get Beningame, Devlin, Spittle, who's never really been seen, on the ball if they can. The long balls up to Shanklin are not really working, so they need to try and play through the thirds if they can.
Yeah, their best moments against Ross County at the weekend as well appeared to be when they got the ball wide to Forrest and kind of tested the fullbacks. We'll see if they can get much joy here as Forrester throws it down the line towards Shankland, intercepted. Played forward towards Alfred, who again gets a header on it. He has a real handful up top. Not a prolific scorer, but he makes life difficult for defenders. And here comes Penrice over the halfway line. Plays it to Barry Mackay on the left-hand side. Goes past one player and wins the throw-in. Or has he? Not quite sure which way that's gone. He's not won the throw-in. It's a Minsk throw. which he's had a disappointing start, you'd have to say. Barry Mackay.
Yeah, he's got great quality at times, and you see him and you think, wow, go and lighten the game up, but he doesn't do it often enough.
Here's Shanklin, edge of the box, takes the strike, but it was a looping volley, which was never coming down fast enough, and it remains 0-0.
Nah, it's well wide of the target. It's a half chance. I mean, last year that was flying in, and this year they're flying wide. You know, that's the difference. But they can't rely on him, Thomas. You know, he's been brilliant. 60 odd goals in 2 seasons, magnificent for the football club. Someone else has to step up.
Yeah, and one more he would draw level with John Robertson, his Hearts record European goal scorer with 7.
The wee man's in the Dominican Republic celebrating his 60th. He'll be praying that doesn't happen, that someone else scores.
Yeah, he'll take an Alan Forrest hat-trick. There's Devlin, his own half of the field goes back to Frankie Kent, and again Minsk just happy to leave their striker up on the Hearts centre-backs and no one else.
See, I think that's the secret. They've clearly, although Hearts haven't been able to get eyes on Minsk, they've certainly got eyes on Hearts, and they'll know that the way they're playing, you know, to try and stop the ball into the midfield, let the 2 centre-halves leave them on it, and make sure that they go along with it, and that's what's been the case so far.
Yep, it's down the left for Mackay, plays it forward. Little nudge goes in from the defender, and no free kick given. Pigas it was, and he fires it up the line, and that's Podstrelev that gets onto it. Now inside to Alfred. Now Dimchenko moving towards the left corner of the box for Minsk, but Beningami's followed him all the way and made sure he went backwards. Here's Lopez in the middle of the pitch, and it's spread to the right hand side. Pigas back to Politevich. Minsk now with everyone forward, bar the goalkeeper in the Hearts territory. Amian gets it back, the midfielder. A couple at the weekend in their 2-0 league win against Izloch. They're second in the Belarusian Premier League at the moment, Minsk. 3 behind the leaders, but with 3 games in hand, favourites to retain their title. And their season runs from sort of March to end of November time. It's hooked away. And here come Minsk again at the back. And Hearts just drop off. Both teams really just trying to keep it tight as Forrester heads it to the feet of Alan Forrest, but he's dispossessed. Too slow as Zherdev got in front, and he's won the throw-in. The Minsk winger. And Lopez, header. Flicked away. Lopez going to get the back, and the Brazilian gets the byline, and he's pulled it back, and it's fired into the net. Minsk leads. Hearts caught napping at a throw-in. Lopez gets to the byline, pulls it back, and Alfred was there to sweep it home. Right past Craig Gordon, goalkeeper no chance, and Hearts' season just continues to be such a struggle. It's Dinamo Minsk 1, Hearts 0.
And it's such an easy goal. It really is. It's to the byline, it's cut back, nobody's picking Alfred up, and it's the simplest of finishes. Knocking it into the back of the net, giving Craig Gordon absolutely no chance. You know, it's really simple. It's a ball played to the inside. You know, Alan Forrest doesn't do well enough. Devlin closes down, gives it the throw-in to Minsk. They go down the line, it's cut back, and there's Alfred with the simplest attacks. All the defenders go in to try and protect the near post. That's what happens, and then the ball, Alfred just steps out, and as he steps out, it's cut back to him, and it's a wonderful finish.
Stephen Alfred's 3rd goal of the season. I said he wasn't prolific, but that was a good finish. And Hearts trail again, yet to even lead in a game this season. It's been bleak stuff. 10 without a win for the first time. If they are to go 11, that would be their worst run in a single season since 2013-14, nearly a decade ago. And Minsk are not an easy nut to crack. We've mentioned that, and they're content to sit off, so they'll be delighted with the start they've made as Amian comes forward, middle of the pitch, gives it to Pigas on the right-hand side, and he's run it behind for a goal kick to Hearts. 1-0. The Belarusian champions lead Hearts, 22 and a bit played.
Yeah, I think Penrice is lucky there as well. You know, it's Forrest doesn't, with a goal, Forrest doesn't match his runner, does not match his runner. He goes in half-hearted in the challenge, which gives away the throw-in to start with. Then he doesn't match the runner. And then you've got Kent at the near post, which is right, he's in the right place, but the striker peels away from Kent, and it's a simple task. Forrest has got to look at himself. Really, really poor defending from Forrest. It's a simple 1-2, doesn't go with the runner, guy's at the byline, and it's the simplest of tasks to pick out his striker.
Here's Frankie Kent at the back for Hearts. How can they respond? Forwards. Down the right-hand side for Minsk. Hearts have it. At the back, Beningame. Slips it to Penrice. Has it on the touchline. Facing his own goal. And it is an eerie stadium in Sumgayit. And Hearts without the backing of any of their fans, of course. With the game taking place behind closed doors. And Hearts need some inspiration from somewhere. Can they find it? Here's Forrest, midway through the Minsk half. He knocks it down the touchline. And it's a good ball. Cross comes in. And then it's cleared just around the penalty spot with Shankland lurking. It was Spittle who made the run and put the cross in.
It's the first time you've mentioned Spittle. 23.5 minutes on the clock. He's not been in the game at all. He gets to the byline there. And unlike the Minsk player, he can't pick anyone out, I'm afraid, for Hearts.
Devlin for Beningame. Square to Forrester, bang in the middle of the pitch. In the Minsk half, now to Forrest right-hand side. He's come in the field. He's away from one, he's going sideways, and then poor pass. Gives it away, and here's Alfred, the goal scorer, and he's jinked away from one challenge. He's over the halfway line, and Hearts in a bit of bother here. It's 4v3, but the pass was poor as it was tried. Attempt to slip in Amian, the midfielder, but Hearts got away with one there.
Alan Forrest again. Really slack play from him. His fullback is overlapping him. He decides to cut inside, so the fullback's then out to play. He loses the ball, and the fullback's, 100 yards out of position? Not out of position because he's trying to overlap. Forrest has got to do better.
And here is Rolls at the back for Hearts. A couple of touches forward. It's all just a bit flat for Heart of Midlothian at the moment. Trailing by a 1-0 in their Conference League opener.
Minsk are happy for Kent and Rose to have it. Once it goes into Spittle or Devlin or Beningame, then they'll close.
That's better from Hearts. Worked through midfield via Spittle and Devlin out to the left-hand side. Now here's Barry Mackay, but he's run into traffic, but he's done well to keep a hold of it. And here is Spittle in the field, and then back to Beningame, then to Spittle. Switch of play to the left-hand side with a right foot. Cross thought was coming in, but the dummy. Now Devlin, the midfielder, in the left-hand corner of the box. He's floated across in, but it's straight down the goalkeeper's throat. And he'll take that all day long. It's still Minsk 1, Hearts 0.
Yeah, it was decent possession play, but poor in the end from Cammy Devlin there. He tries to clip it into the box. He overhits it. You know, if he drops it short, there's a chance to go into Shanklin's feet, and he can get runners off of Shanklin. He elects to hit it further than that, right into the keeper's arms. And that's been the wasteful thing. They've had free kicks. Hearts have been in decent crossing positions, and they've not managed to pick out anyone out yet so far as well. Minsk get to a byline, and they pick out Alfred, and they're 1-0 up.
Devlin, centre circle. Gives it to Penrice on the left-hand side, but the amount of times Hearts players just control, take a touch, take a second touch, look up. It's all very slow at the moment. Need some pace, some injection of life into the performance. And Mackay back to Penrice, the left back. He's about midway through the Minsk half, goes back to Rolls, then square for Kent in the centre circle, the centre half. Looking to drive forwards, gives it to Spittle on the right-hand side. Cross is poor, easy for the defender. Breaks for Beningame though now. Here's Cammy Devlin on the edge of the box, goes down, and the referee's happy with that challenge. And now Minsk are countering up the other end. It's Podstrelov, the right winger, coming down the right-hand side. And Hearts in a bit of trouble here. And they get back into their shape. And it's now with Lopez, who's set up Minsk's opener on 21 minutes. Here he is on the left-hand side, crosses it into the box. Demchenko turning into Zherdev. Hacked in, and it's gone to the edge of the box. And it's comfortable enough for Barry Mackay to clear, but then he's given it away as he looked for Shankland. It's just slack from Hearts And so far, after a decent first 5 or 6, 7 minutes, they've looked a bit like a team who's travelled 3,000 miles.
Some of them look shattered already. 27.5 minutes on the clock. They're getting nothing from Forrest or Mackay in the wider areas, nothing. They need to do better. They need to keep the ball. They need to not give it away. They need to work harder. They both look shattered already, even in this early part of the game.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland Extra. Live commentary to come from Ibrox as Rangers look to go 2 from 2 in the Europa League phase against Olympique Lyonnais of France. Star-studded sides in Ibrox. That'll be a huge game right here, right now. We're bringing you coverage of Dinamo Minsk against Hearts, and it is the Belarusian champions who lead Hearts by a 1-0. Stephen Alfred's opener in the 21st minute. Lovely pullback from Lopez, the left back, and he stroked it far corner away from Craig Gordon. And there's an injury at the moment for Minsk. Player getting some treatment.
He's in tears.
Yeah, looks like Lopez, the left back, which would be a blow for Minsk because we've already seen his attacking threat. Added his 6th assist of the season, but he's done. He's walking off, but
he's in tears there. I wonder if it's his hamstring is gone, but he's in very emotional.
Yeah, well, that is an early or a blow for Minsk because he's a real threat. Got pace down that side. We've already seen him create the goal. Now Hearts have the ball in the centre circle. Kent gives it for Rolls. They finally squeezed up into the Minsk half. Spittle goes to Barry Mackay on the left touchline, in line with the penalty area, edge of the penalty area, tries to take on his man, wins a throw-in from Pigas, the right back. And Hearts have the throw-in, and the substitution is being made, and Selyava, the midfielder, is replacing Lopez for Dinamo Minsk, so we'll probably see a reshuffle here because I'm not sure he'll be going to left back, but we shall see. If he is, then that might give Alan Forrest a bit more joy because he's a central midfielder. Selyava, the number 8, experienced midfielder, and it's a Hearts corner.
Has to be quality. Has to be better quality coming in from Barry Mackay.
30 minutes on the clock. Minsk 1, Hearts 0. Hearts have a corner though. Barry Mackay, far side, going to curl it in with the right foot. Going to be an in-swinger. Hearts with bodies in the area. Rolls was there, but it went behind him. Cleared. Now Shankland on the edge of the box, controls it on the chest. It's quite a heavy touch, but he manages to keep a hold of it. Gives it out to Mackay on the left-hand side. He's forced backwards though. All the way back now to Rolls. Takes a touch with his studs, flicks it forward and then chips it back out to Mackay on the left-hand touchline in line with the edge of the penalty area. And the cross is going to be fired in, and it's over the heads of the Hearts player who was at the back post, and then that's a corner given. I think
centre half's wanting a foul. Frankie Kent, he's wanting a free kick, thinks he's nudged in the back. The referee's looking right at it.
Yeah, so Shivko, I think, went up and he grazed his head. Hearts better last couple of minutes. The last corner didn't come to anything, but we'll see.
It's a 2v1 situation in the wider area here. If they can get Mackay and Penrice are both on it, if they can work something here, it's 2v1.
Hearts trailing by a 0-0. Can they find some inspiration before the break? We've played 31.5 minutes in Azerbaijan. Hearts at the moment trailing again. Corner ready to come in from this near side. It's Barry Mackay who's gone across the ticket. He's gone short this time to Penrice. Left-footed cross into the back post. Goalkeeper comes, gets a glove on it, and then has to push it behind for another corner.
Yeah, it was decent enough, but 2v1 in the wider area. If you get it, Mackay plays it to Penrice. Penrice has to drive it, the only player that's come out, and it's a chance to roll Mackay in. He elects to cross it in. Decent ball to the back post, looking for Kent, but the keeper comes out and punches it away for yet another corner.
And Barry Mackay will jog across, but it's just even the time it's taken between set pieces.
There's no urgency. There needs to be more urgency from them.
Yeah, it's not as if Barry Mackay was sprinting across to take that corner. It's slow, low tempo at the moment. And Mackay now ready, puts the arm up. It's the in-swinger, he's clipped it to the edge of the box. I don't even know what he's trying to do there. And now suddenly Minsk are on the counter, fired forward. Kent makes a good challenge, and then it's up the other end now with Forrest taking on his man. Low cross, cleared at the near post by Minsk. And Spittle with a challenge, and that'll go out for a throw-in to the Belarusian champions, who lead Hearts by a 1-0. But that corner, Alan,
dreadful, absolutely dreadful. This guy has got real quality on the ball, yet we've seen him tonight hit a free kick and a free kick right out the park from 30 yards and a corner to absolutely nobody.
that must be a mental thing, surely.
It's just so frustrating because he's got all the ability. He really is. He's on his game. He's a great player. He's done okay, I would say, for Hearts. He had ripped his hamstring last year, which was a bad one for him. But he's not produced the form that I was hoping he was certainly going to produce for Hearts.
Yeah, he only had 6 starts last season. Really injury hit campaign. And here is Forrest on the right-hand side. It's out for a throw into Hearts. Can they hit back before the break? You need to find some inspiration as Forrester throws to Forrest, gives it back to Forrester. Comes in from the right-hand touchline, but Minsk shape just forcing Hearts back as they go to Kent, the centre half, then Rolls, who checks back the other way and gives it to his centre half partner Kent, who goes long. Bounced past Shanklin, just about controls it. He's towards the edge of the box, gives it to Devlin, then wide to Mackay, who comes in the field from the left. Little flick from Spittle, trying to return it to Mackay. It's behind him though, and again Hearts have to recycle and start again at the back.
And they'll drop off again, allowing Kent and Rolls to get the ball. They're quite happy to drop off and say, okay, you haven't got the quality to try and pass it through us, and you end up hitting it long, which they do. Hearts have got to have more imagination about them. They need more urgency.
Forrester preparing to take the throw in, gives it to Spittle, gets it back, then Beningame along the grass to Rolls, who has not put a good pass in, and Mackay has actually gone out for a throw in. I thought that Penrice had kept in, or Mackay on the far side.
That's exactly why they leave Rolls and Kent on, not so much Kent, but certainly Rolls on the ball. He's under no pressure there. He tries to clip it wide to Mackay and he just kicks it out for a throw-in. That's...
Yeah, Hearts team clearly low on confidence.
I don't think Rolls has played well since the World Cup, and that's me being honest.
And here's Shanklin towards the edge of the box. He thinks about having a go from about 25 yards. It's now with Forrester, low cross, blocked. And behind Sashivko with a block. The left centre half for Minsky kept his arms by his side. There was a faint appeal for a penalty, but it's
no chance.
Arms tucked right in behind his body. So it's a corner Hearts will have to settle for as we approach minute 37, and it is still Dinamo Minsk 1, Heart of Midlothian 0 in the Conference League live on Sports Sounds. And the referee is unhappy with some jostling between Frankie Kent and Pigas in the box.
Cammy Devlin.
It's Cammy Devlin, yeah, he's having a word with a little niggle with Salyava, the substitute. It's Hearts' corner on this near side. Can they find some much needed quality? Left-footed delivery comes in and it's flicked into the back of the net, and it's Kai Rolls who celebrates. And I said they needed some inspiration from somewhere. They needed some quality. It's a good left-footed delivery. And Rolls gets the applause from his teammates. But it could have come off a Minsk player in that box. But Hearts don't really care because they are level. It is Minsk 1, Hearts 1.
There you go. You go from zero to hero. You know, he's 30 seconds ago, or a minute ago, he's kicking the ball out the park under no pressure whatsoever. It's a good ball in. It's whipped into the near post. Rolls gets on the end of it and it ends up in the back of the net. It's a really good ball and makes a run straight to that front post. It's an own goal, actually. It's actually an own goal.
Politevich.
Does he get a flick on it, Rolls? He maybe gets a small flick on it, but that's an own goal.
Yeah, Politevich, the captain, has glanced that into the bottom corner of his own net. It came over Rolls. He was maybe unsighted. He was leaning forward as if to try and ready himself to clear it, but It didn't drop as he expected, and it spins off him and into the net. Well, Hearts haven't had many goals this season, so if the opposition are going to step up and do it for you, then they'll take it.
Yeah, Shanklin's one on Saturday was a good header. That one tonight, it seems to be maybe off the left shoulder, and it goes in. Rose getting the slightest deflects on it, but they'll take it. You know, they've not played particularly well. We've touched on it. They need more urgency. This team are not great. They're not great at all. If Hearts can up the levels, and I'm sure it's what Liam Fox wants to do, if he gets them in at half time, he can up the levels, because Hearts are better than them. They just need to step forward and show it.
1-1 as we head into the final 7 minutes of the opening half, being played in Sumgait, Azerbaijan. Empty stadium as it's thrown to Shanklin, gives it back to Forrester, who sclaffs that into the air. Hamian lets it bounce. The Ivorian central midfielder, it's hit forward for Alfred, the Minsk goal scorer. He's tussling with Kent. It's still scrappy in the middle of the pitch as Forrest puts the challenge in, and this is going to break for Frankie Kent in the back. He's under pressure from Alfred, and he just has to thump it up and out for a throw-in around the halfway line for Minsk.
You just wonder when the new Hearts manager comes in, what formation he'll want to play. Will he stick with the 4 as Hearts do? Well, Hearts have went to a 3 this side as well. Will Lauren Shanklin get a partner to play up with? You know, will it be 4-4-2? What will the formation be? It'll be fascinating times ahead. But if he is sitting watching this, there won't be many pluses.
No, and we were talking about it pre-match, Alan, as well. That Hearts, a lot of Hearts fans probably want to see them play with a back 4, but do they have the centre backs who can play in a back 4?
It's not just that, Thomas. Did they have the full-backs? Ben Penrice has done okay. He's certainly not an upgrade on Cochrane. And the jury's out for me with Taylor anyway. I don't think Taylor can defend, and they've had the same way Atkinson and Pryor. Michael Smith was the last decent right back that they had. So that's an area they need to address. You know, the young lads come in. Young Forrester, he's done well, but I think they need a defensive fullback. You know, it's all right as a fullback, getting crosses into the box, that's a plus. Your main job is to defend and make sure that you, as part of that back 4, come out with a clean sheet. That's you've done your job. Anything else is an extra, which is a bonus. But fullbacks nowadays have to be thrown crosses in the box.
Minsk 1, Hearts 1. Kalinin with the throw-in back into his own half. Gives it to Sashivko. Goes to his goalkeeper Lapikov, who's closed down by Shanklin. Gives it square, and 2 Hearts players up, Shanklin and Mackay, who managed to get the pass away. And Hearts press is effective here as it goes back to Sashivko, and he has to launch it forward to Alfred. Rolls, wins the header, then Bingangame picks up the scraps forward from Spittle, but that's to nobody, and that'll just bounce through to Lapikov, the goalkeeper. And Blair Spittle apologises to his teammates. That was just a lack of composure there.
Yeah, it was. You know, he's a good player. He was excellent. A lot of assists, a lot of goals for Motherwell. Not settled in yet at Tynecastle. Like Jan Dander, the same, not settled in yet. It's got to take a little bit of time for these guys to get going. But the Hearts players must know themselves, this is further winning here. They can win this game tonight. They just need to up the tempo.
Forwards, and it's solid to bounce on the edge of the box. It rolls, reacts and hooks it away. Devlin, nice first time pass to Shankland, or sorry, it was Mackay, and then a switch for Shankland, but the defender picked it off. Sashivko. Now Silyava, the substitute, replaced Lopez, the left back, after an injury. Now Pigas, the Belarus international, come down the right hand side, but the referee, I think, has said that was out, and it's a Hearts throw on the far side. 1-1.
Yeah, I think Liam Fox will be pleasantly happy with how it's gone. They've not played particularly well, and now that he's actually got eyes on Minsk, he'll know that Hearts can beat them. They certainly can. They just need to up the tempo, take care in the wider areas, try and get better quality in the box, certainly from set plays. He's seen it, one decent set play in, it causes havoc, it's an own goal into the back of the net. They need to take their time, compose themselves, and make sure that the quality coming in for wider areas is better.
1-1, live here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland Extra. Coverage to come from Rangers Lyon in the Europa League as Minsk, or Hearts, win the free kick just inside their own half, and big thumbs up from Frankie Kent, and they have looked a bit more settled, Hearts, since that equaliser.
Neither keeper's been called upon, really. Neither keeper's had a chance with the goals either. It's been one effort each, one goal each, that's been about it.
Yeah, it's not classic fair. I'm reliably informed that pitch isn't in the best nick either, but the players still have to deal with it, and the empty stadium and all the travel and all the rest of it. And Hearts haven't been great, but they are level, having trailed, and that's the crucial thing as we enter the last 2.5 minutes of the first half. Rolls for Penrice, who put in that corner that led to the equaliser, and now it's down the left-hand side, cross in, and the goalkeeper has to come across and deal with it. And I'm not even sure if it was...
I think it's taking a deflection. I think it's taking a slight deflection out there and goes wide, and the keeper tries to save it, but I think it's going out for a corner.
Yeah, I'm not even sure he had to deal with that, the goalkeeper. I think it was going wide, but deal with it he did. And the Hearts have another corner. They scored from the last one, although it's over on the far side rather than the near side, but Penrice is going to go and take it. Outswinger with the left boot, puts the arm up, ready to deliver, fires it into the near post. It's not as good as the last, cleared, sent back in by Spittle. Goalkeeper gives the shout and claims it comfortably on his line. And now the counter attack is on for Minsk. Alfred, the goal scorer, plays it up the line. It's a good sliding challenge and recovery from Blair Spittle for a throw-in. Yeah,
good defensive. You know, he's got to match his runner. He does that this time, unlike Forrest for the Minsk goal. He matches his runner this time, Spittle, and it's a good challenge out for a throw-in.
Thrown back to Sashivkov. Now Selyava, who has gone into that central midfield position. Minsk readjusted after the loss of their left back. Here he is. Gives it back to Politevich, who scored that own goal, which brought Hearts level. Here's Sashivko. Left to Dimchenko on the left-hand touchline, and they have to go back, but there's no real urgency from Minsk either here. It's fairly tepid stuff as they launch it forward, won by Rolls. Beningame again picks up the scraps in midfield. Second ball won, he's got it in the centre circle.
I think he's been the pick. Beningame for me has been the pick of the Hearts players. Done very well in there. Spittle started to get a few touches. He wasn't in the opening 30 minutes, couldn't really see him. Mackay, Forrest need to do more. Devlin's working hard but needs to do more if he can.
Here's Rolls, halfway line, chips it forward. Forrest goes up. It's only to Zerdev, the Minsk winger, and it's then launched forward by the centre half, and it'll just skip away for a throw-in, and controlled by Liam Fox in his technical area. And Hearts have the throw-in. 45 minutes on the clock, and it is Dinamo Minsk 1, Hearts 1 in the Conference League. 2 added minutes to be played in Sumgait in Azerbaijan. As well, Hearts, as I mentioned, got a real chance if they can get their act together of making a good fist of this Conference League campaign and all the good games for the fans, the players, and the money that comes with it. But they have to get their act together. That is the key element. Yeah,
they're in the game. You know, they should go in level, which is probably about right, I would say. Hearts have had the better of the second period of the first half. You know, it's a poor goal to lose. Forrest loses his runner. It's a poor goal from Minsk as well. An own goal from them. As you said, Thomas, it's not been great, but you know, Hearts have got an opportunity here.
Here's Benny Amian driving through the heart of the Hearts midfield. Now it's out to Pigas, right-hand side of the box. Gets a low cross in, and it was really well read at the near post by Frankie Kent, because that was a dangerous low delivery. Minsk threatening. We've played 1 of the 2 added minutes at the end of this first half. It's 1-1, and the free kick given away by Hearts about 30 yards out, in line with the right-hand side of the penalty area. It's Podstrelov who's been caught, and this will be a chance for Minsk to whip one in.
This has been Hearts' Achilles heel all season. Set plays, free kicks, corners coming into the box. You need to be strong, get a line. Someone take command back there, make sure that they're all, try and keep them all out the box if they can. Don't enter the box. You're 35 yards wide right.
Yeah, Rolls give away that free kick, just a late challenge on Podstrelov, and there's a few white jerseys over this free kick. Hearts with one last defensive act to come before the end of this first half, and it's curled in, and there's runners on to the edge of the 6-yard box, but the ball goes beyond any of them and went to the back post, and it's gone behind from Callanan. Goal kick to Hearts, 1-1.
Yeah, I think the flag would have gone up there for offside. Hearts held a good line on the 18-yard box, and I think that's about us.
Yep, the first half seconds away from closing as Craig Gordon picks his spot as he prepares to take his goal kick, and I think Hearts will take this at half-time, having trailed and not been at their best, although it's hard to know what their best is this season so far. But there is the half-time whistle, and it's been far from a classic. And Hearts' bleak start to the season, well, it continued for the first half hour or so here at least. Minsk hit the front, came from a throw-in on the left-hand side. Lopez, who has since departed injured, did really well, worked the 1-2, went to the byline, cut it back, and Stephen Alfred with a brilliant first-time finish across Gordon into the far corner. And Hearts at that point, well, things were looking pretty grim for them, but they did come to life a bit more in the second period of that first half, and eventually came level. James Penrice corner, Rolls went up, it missed him and flicked off the Minsk captain Sergei Politevich, came off his shoulder really and spun into the bottom corner of his own net. There have been precious few other chances. It has not been fantastic fare in Azerbaijan, but at half-time in this Conference League clash, it is Dinamo Minsk 1, Heart of Midlothian 1.
Hearts in the UEFA Conference League.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
On BBC iPlayer, we all know the familiar faces of our solar system, but our neighbourhood is far stranger than we ever imagined. We've glimpsed lightning storms that rage across Jupiter, ice mountains that tower over Pluto's surface, and giant dust devils on Mars. Thanks to a fleet of spacecraft, these wonders are visible to us as never before in astonishing new detail. Solar System, with me, Professor Brian Cox, starts Monday on BBC iPlayer.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Kenny McIntyre. So half-time, Dinamo Minsk 1, Hearts 1. We are at Ibrox this evening. Full commentary to come here from the Europa League. Rangers at home to Lyon. Billy Dodds is alongside me here. Perfect night for a game of football, Billy. It's just the tension's starting to build here. I think it's fair to say a couple of the Lyon players out in the pitch looking very sharp in their black suits and their white trainers out there. This is a great arena for football, isn't it?
Yeah, you and I both know about designer gear, Kenny, yeah. There's a few mingling in the stands now starting to come in, but you can feel it. There's plenty of press down touchline as well. You can feel that build up in a big European night. This has got it. Big team, we said that before the game. Now with people starting to come in, the press starting to congregate up here in the gantry and down there touchline, you can just get that feel it's going to be a special night.
Yeah, we're looking forward to 8 o'clock kick-off here at Ibrox, and of course half-time in the game between Dinamo Minsk and Hearts. We'll try and actually get the team news, certainly the Rangers team news for you. It's due at 2:15, so we might just get that before we hand back to our commentary team of Alan Preston and Thomas Duncan. We were watching the game, Billy, coming in to the media centre down below us here at Ibrox Stadium. A dreadful start from Hearts. That goal, it was actually a nice work goal down the left-hand side, scored in 21 minutes, but they were very fortuitous the way they got back into it. It was a dreadful own goal, wasn't it, from the corner?
It was, but Carroll's got a little nick on it that made them get that. I think the defender saw it late and it come off him, glanced into the corner. It's maybe just showing you the tides turning for Hearts. Get that fortuitous goal on Saturday late on, get one to get back in the game tonight. It wasn't a great game. The boys have predicted it perfectly, haven't they? Said it was going to be tight, not a great, they never said a great spectacle, but
not a lot of chances.
Not a lot of chances, not much happening. You don't care though. If Hearts can just get a win there, it'd be a brilliant 3 points.
What did you make, Alan Preston, of that first half performance?
Not great, Kenny, if I'm being honest. Wasn't a lot of chances in it. Neither keeper had a chance with a goal, and I think that they need more from Forrest, Mackay, Spittle, hardly in the game. If you look at the goal again, and Doddsy, as I seen it, Forrest drops his runner. He just drops his runner. You can't afford to do that. They play a lovely 1-2 round him and the cutbacks there, and then Alfred knocks it into the back of the net. And then you're right, they get very fortuitous with the goal. We're just watching it again here. I'm not so sure Rose gets anything on it, but it comes off the defender and into the back of the net. So I think Liam Fox will be okay, he'll be quite happy, but he must be in that changing room saying, we've got enough about us here to win this game here. This is here for the taking. They just have to step up and need a bit more quality.
Alan, a lot was made of the chopping and changing under Stephen Naismith. For you, who should be the ever-presence in that Hearts team?
Craig Gordon, although Xander Clark's been magnificent last year, but I just Craig Gordon, because he's Craig Gordon. I think Frankie Kent should be there every week. I don't think Kai Rose is, as I said it in commentary, has been as good since he's come back from, and it's a while ago, the World Cup. Don't think he's been the same player. Beningame when he's fit, Shanklin obviously when he's fit, and then the rest of them.
Cammy Devlin.
Cammy Devlin gives you energy and enthusiasm, gets booked needlessly at times, but lacks quality on the ball. But you'll never ever fault Cammy Devlin for his industry in a game. So I would say right down the spine of the team, it would be for me Kent, it would be Gordon, Kent, Beningame and Shanklin, and then you can build the rest round them.
Well, you teed that up nicely for us, Alan. Let's now hear from the Hearts goalkeeper, Craig Gordon, who, of course, got a recall to the Scotland squad in the past couple of days by the national team manager, Steve Clarke. Brian McLaughlin spoke with the Hearts keeper.
Craig, first of all, congratulations getting back into the squad once again. How big a surprise was this to you?
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. I found out just after training when we were getting ready to come to the airport to fly out here. So, a little bit of a surprise, but a welcome one. I've worked very hard over the summer to try and get myself in a position where I could get back playing games, and delighted to be there.
So no texts, no calls, just an email?
Yeah, that's how it genuinely goes. That's how it's always worked. So just find out only minutes before the squad gets announced to the press. So found out coming off the training field, and it was a little bit of a surprise, but a nice one.
Looking back to that day in the summer when you'd been told you weren't going to the Euros, you were brought on for the last few minutes in that game at Hampden Park. Reflecting back, did you think that was it? It was all over?
Yeah, absolutely. That was the final last push to try and get to a major tournament. And then to be told that I wasn't going and that I would get a few minutes at the end, it did feel like the end. I never sort of closed that chapter. I didn't announce any retirement or anything. I just wanted to go away, work hard, and see where it got me. There's a few of the other guys that were in that squad are not in the first team at the moment, so the opportunity has arisen again, and it's great to still be involved, to be able to go back there and then see what happens.
It's interesting what Steve Clarke said yesterday in his press conference. He said that you told him, we'll see you again soon. Was that tongue in cheek?
No, I said that after the Finland game, that I would still go away and try and work hard and see where I could get to, and I'd always be there if he wanted to call on me. I would be there. So he said to me to go away, and he said that he wouldn't close that door. So we just both agreed to leave it open and see where the season progressed.
I know how keen you are you've always been keen to play for Scotland. Does this maybe make you rethink about your future in terms of when you may hang up your gloves? World Cup, for example, in 2026. Can that be a goal for you now?
That feels a long way away.
It does, but it's actually less than 24 months, Craig.
Yeah, well, I'm just taking it one season at a time. We'll see probably closer to the end of this season what the plans are for the season after that, and when it gets to this stage, it's not quite month by month, but certainly can reevaluate things in the short term rather than looking too far ahead.
Craig Gordon there, Alan. As you said, he'd been ever present for you in the Hearts team. It's fantastic to see him back in the Scotland squad, and really feel it was a no-brainer for Steve Clarke, given he's now ahead of Xander Clarke at Hearts.
Well, we had the discussion, Kenny, a number of weeks ago on Open All Mics about it, and saying there is a dilemma for Steve Clarke, because Xander Clarke wasn't playing, McCrory wasn't playing at Kilmarnock, and they were the two backup keepers to Gunn. What does he do? And he's brought in McCracken now, and he's brought in obviously Craig Gordon back. And I was over in Naples at the weekend, and I had dinner with Billy Gilmore, and this was before the squad was announced, and he said after the Finnish game, Craig Gordon got up and spoke to all the players after Steve Clarke had addressed them to thank Craig Gordon, and Craig Gordon got up and Billy was like, everyone had a lump in their throat. He was so emotional. Yeah. It was brilliant what he said. He said it was great. He said, and why can he not get back in it? And then a few hours later the squad's announced and he's in it, and rightly so for me. And I would put him as the number one for Scotland. And I know Guns, he's done okay. For me, he's cost a few goals. Craig Gordon, for me, would be Scotland's number one. I'm maybe biased here, but if you've got someone with his experience against Croatia, against Portugal, two top sides, you'd want the best there, and for me, it's Craig Gordon.
Yeah, it was actually quite an emotional night. The last game, it was against Finland at Hampden before we headed off to the Euros. He was on the park for a long time after the game with his family. His kids were there kicking the ball about with him, and he was clearly soaking all up. As you say, he spoke in the dressing room after. Perhaps he thought the opportunity had gone, but great to see him back in.
But
Billy,
Kenny, sorry, Kenny. It's had a double leg break.
Yep.
He's had an arm injury which they thought he was retiring. He just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
What a professional. You know, Buffon played till he was in his 40s. Why can't Craig Gordon continue on until that World Cup that Brian talked about? It's
definitely helped him in his recovery. He's the one with the real quality when he was at his best. And don't get me wrong, he's still top-notch goalkeeper. Yeah. But from where it's amazing how it's flipped with Liam Kelly, Gunn, Zander Clark, McCrory. They're all there and thereabouts. But you always felt that if he was fit, he was the best keeper amongst them all. When he's got his opportunity again. I hope he grasps it.
Number one
we'll
for
never
you?
know.
Is he number one for you right now, Billy? Would he be your number one?
I think
with that experience.
I think Gunn's got that just now. I totally get where Alan's coming from. I think if he keeps on going the way he is, Craig Gordon, if he gets an opportunity and plays a couple of games for Scotland, say Gunn goes out, and I think the way to describe it is Gunn would struggle to get his place back if Craig Gordon went in goal and got 2 or 3 games in the Scotland team. I think it would be hard to get his position back.
Just to give you a score update from the SWPL, a big game tonight. Rangers 1, Celtic 0. Kirsty Howe with a goal on 5 minutes, just approaching half-time in that match. We're at Ibrox, an 8 o'clock kick-off here in the Europa League. Rangers at home to Lyon. We may just squeeze in the Rangers team news for you. We're just waiting for that to drop in the next couple of minutes. Our commentator Alistair Lamont is keeping his eye across that one. What are you hoping to see, Alan, in the second half from Hearts? What needs to improve?
More urgency, better quality in the wider areas from Mackay and Forrest if they stay on. I think the young fullback Forrester has been a shining light. Beningami's been excellent, but we need better quality from Mackay, certainly from Alan Forrest as well, because the quality coming in has been poor. Forrest lets his runner go. They need to step the pace up, get the tempo up a bit. If they can do that, Kenny, this game is for the taking here for Hearts. They're not a good side, Minsk. They're not. All they're doing is dropping off and allowing Rose and Kent to get on the ball. And Hearts are clipping it long to Shankland. It's easy for them. If they can play through the lines, get Beningame, Devlin, Spittle on the ball more, quickly turned into the wider areas, taking on fullbacks, getting crosses in, Hearts can win this game, but they need better quality from the wider areas.
Yeah, 3 changes made to the starting lineup this evening. Penrice, Spittle and Barry Mackay in. What about Spittle, Alan? It's not really happened for him so far at Hearts, been in and out, and there's been a bit of debate about where he should be played in that Hearts team.
Well, that's it. And, you know, a few of my pals have said to me, do you think that the club's too big for him? You know, do you think that the expectation levels of Hearts, and I'm not being disrespectful to Motherwell or Ross County or where he's been before, but the expectation levels of Hearts are to finish third. Is the jersey too big for him? And it's not, because he's got great quality, probably not playing in the best position, but he's in the team tonight. He wasn't in that opening 30 minutes. He started coming in with 5-10 minutes to go in that opening period. And it's an opportunity for him here tonight to say, you know what, I want to be in the starting 11. As we'll know, these 7 or 8 managers that the Hearts are speaking to, they'll be watching this game. If you're looking, the young fullback done well. I would say Kent's done all right. Beningami's been the pick. Shankland's worked hard, but the rest of them it's not been great. It hasn't been great.
He's cut quite a frustrated looking figure, you'd have to say, Lawrence Shankland, albeit he got that late goal against Ross County at the weekend. Before we cross back to second half commentary from Dinamo Minsk against Hearts, we're at Ibrox. Rangers kick off against Lyon at 8 o'clock in the Europa League. Our match commentator is Alistair Lamont. And Al, you've got the team news.
Yeah, I've got the Rangers team, Kenny, which I think most listeners will be interested in. It's Rangers really at their strongest as they could be. Diamondi comes back in after missing the weekend, and Bayrami and Desser's back in to start as well. So it's Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Proper, Jefte, Diamondi and Barron, Czerny, Lawrence and Bayrami, and Desser's leading the line. Full team news at full time in the Hearts game.
Dodgy, do you like to look at that Rangers team?
It looks strong on paper, of course. Desser's coming back in after being rested Saturday. You would say that is close to the strongest 11, but maybe within 1 or 2 places. But I think a lot of Rangers fans looking at that team will be pretty happy to see that tonight.
Yeah, stay tuned for commentary from Rangers against Lyon. Let's get back to our first European action of the evening. The game is being played in Azerbaijan. Is Dinamo Minsk 1, Hearts 1. Let's get back to a commentary team of Alan Preston and Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Kenny. It wasn't a classic first 45 minutes, but it's all square and it's really there for the taking. Hearts will feel that, as will Minsk as well. They obviously want to get off the mark in this competition as well. They've got some tough fixtures to come. HJK Helsinki away from home and Warsaw away from home to come, and they'll be without a couple of their Russian players who are on the bench even for that one because they're banned from entering the country as the war with Ukraine has impacts on the pitch as well. And I think there's going to be a substitution which Brian McLaughlin can bring us up to speed with.
Yeah, the board's just gone up. Thomas here, number 11, Gleb Serdev, is being replaced. Coming on is number 25, Pedro Igor. No surprise, no applause from the fans, because there isn't any.
Oh, you can applaud him, Brian. You can. Thank you. Pedro Igor on, another Brazilian who's joined from his homeland in July. He's got 3 goals and 10 appearances, so it's a like-for-like change down that left-hand side for Dinamo Minsk as the game resumes in Sumgayit in Azerbaijan. Hearts throw in on the far side, and Alan and the guys were talking about it just at half-time there. Hearts need more in attack, and having got the fortunate break of the own goal, they need to make the most of it. But it's Alfred, the Minsk goal scorer, has it midway through the Hearts half at the moment, gives it to Amiens, and then it's to the left back and centre half here. Sashivko square to Politevich, goes to his goalkeeper Lapakov, and it's long, and that'll go all the way through from one goalkeeper to another, Craig Gordon.
But then, as we see, once again, they'll just drop off. They'll leave Alfred up, and the rest will go when it starts to get passed through the lines. Then they'll try and press if they can. But they'll leave Rose on it, they'll leave Kent on it, and they'll have to, there we go, kicking it 60 yards up the park to nobody.
And it's sent straight back. A missed hoof in the middle of the park, and eventually Rose gets someone on it, goes up into the sky. And flowing football it is not, but Hearts are here to do a job, and so far they're in the game. We did say it was going to be tight. It's only the second goal and Dinamo Minsk have conceded in their last 6 outings, so they are miserly at the back as a free kick is given away by Forrester, I think, on Igor, the substitute.
Yeah, no, he's won it. He's won it. Igor's taking I think he's taking a knock to the throat. It looks like it's a foul.
Yeah, a little hand on that.
To the Hearts man. Yeah. He's been great. Honestly, young Adam Forrester, 19 years of age, second start for the club. European tie, away from home. Strange atmosphere for him. You know, but he's been excellent. Seems to be enjoying it as well.
Yeah, he's got a smile on his face. It's good to see amid the pressure of the game. He's got a smile on as Pedro Igor, having just come on the pitch at half-time, is getting some treatment. And Dinamo Minsk, well, it's been a scrappy start. It's kind of started to the second half. It's started this half as we ended the first, as Igor gets to his feet and spits out some water. And I wonder what Liam Fox's message at half-time would have been. Probably just more urgency. You know, this game is there for the taking.
More urgency, better quality when you've got it, for free kicks, for corners. They've had one quality ball in, causes mayhem, and they get the goal off it. The rest of the corners, the rest of the set plays have been really poor, been kicked out the park. So they need better quality on the ball, and they need more from Mackay and Forrest. And
just as you say that, Alan, behind Mackay, he does win a throw-in, but he was lucky to there. I think the defender could have left that, and he'd have run it straight out the park.
So frustrating, wide players. I mean, I was one myself, and I wasn't great, but you know, if I had Barry Mackay's ability, you know, I would be doing better. Honestly, I think he's got all the ability in the world, just doesn't apply himself enough. It's the same can be said for Forrest.
And Penrice back to Spittle on the left-hand touchline. He goes and spreads the play with the right boot to Frankie Kent in his own half, and he's gone into the air with a diagonal which is headed away comfortably, but Hearts have had a net gain in terms of territory.
They need to be better than that, Hearts, though. They need to try and, you know, they're bypassing the midfield. Beningame, Devlin, Spittle, they're not getting on the ball. They're just, Kent, Rose is just clipping it wide right, wide left, missing the midfield out.
Forward from Minsk, but Kai Rose is back for Hearts, and he gets it away under pressure from Alfred. And again, it's the direct route towards Spittle, but it's over the Hearts midfielder, and that allows Pegas to rampage over the halfway line on the break. Gives it to Podstrelov on the right-hand side. He's jinking away, and that looked like it was out, and the flags stay down, and it's on we go. Sachikov spreads it with the left foot out to that left-hand side, but that's dreadful as well, as Igor Kalinin can't control it.
It looks like the bad passing is contagious, but at the moment neither side has really settled down in this opening 5 minutes of the second half.
No, it's been desperately short of quality this game. We're lucky to have had 2 goals with the only real attempts on target. Well, one of them was an own goal, not even an attempt on target by a Hearts player. 50 minutes played, it's 1-1. Thrown in, and Minsk go back the way to Sachikov and along to Politevich. It goes back to his goalkeeper. All very conservative at the moment. No side wanting to give away anything cheap as it's switched to the right-hand side, headed forward by Pegas to Podstrelov. Dangerous ball, Alfred's header. Didn't generate the power, and it was comfortable for Craig Gordon.
Yeah, it's a good ball in. Alfred makes a really good run across the front post there. I think it's across the front of Kai Rolls. Gets a header on it, comfortable take for Craig Gordon.
A rare attempt on goal as Rolls goes back to Kent and across the rails, but yeah, comfortable enough for Craig Gordon on his 25th European appearance for Hearts, more than any other player over the years in maroon on the European stage, as Mackay pings it forwards.
Honestly, it's hoof ball. It's getting, the ball needs to go on ice at the end of the game. It's getting leathered from Hearts players defensively from one end of the pitch to the other. They need to show better quality. They need to get Mackay, Spittle, Devlin, Beningame, Forrest on the ball.
It's also, I mean, there's a lot of space. I know Minsk are dropping off, Alan, but it's not as if they're really compact. There is space to play if Hearts want to. It looks like it anyway.
Yeah, that's it. You need better. Can Kent and Rose, can they clip balls in to midfield players? Can they find them? Can the Hearts midfield players move to get into spaces?
Beningame in a tight space down the right hand side in his own half, and then the clearance is attempted by Forrester, but he's closed down and it's blocked. I think that may have nicked back off him. It did, so Minsk throw and they get on with it. The Belarusian champions for the first time since 2004 last season. Of course, Bate Borisov reigned supreme in Belarus for many years, 13 titles in a row, but it was Aberdeen's coach Peter Levin that helped end that when he was a coach at Dinamo Brest. They won the title in 2019. Coached out there for a few seasons. Here's Kent, and he's got no option to pass to, really. Has to go back to Craig Gordon, and it's just tepid stuff.
It looks like, you know, a team that are not any confidence at all, Hearts. They don't, because last year, you know, Kent would roll it into Devlin or Beningame, he was struggling with injury still, but roll it into the midfield. They would get turned, or they play little 1-2s round the corner. Now they're just going from back to front, and that's a sign of players lacking confidence, don't want to take the chances.
Beningame fouled as he nipped in, and I think you mentioned it, Alan, he's probably one of the few that's got pass marks so far in a Hearts jersey. Gets stuck in. Again,
right, this is going to go long. You think, Kent, can we take it short? Can we get going? Can we build through? Can we clip it in? No, let's smash it 60 yards up the pitch.
And it's diagonal, flicked on by Spittle. Shanklin's onto it in the byline, left-hand side of the box. A little back heel, though. Doesn't fall for a teammate, and Minsk clear down the pitch towards Alfred. He tries to take it on the chest, but it skips off him up into the air, and then it's nodded out by Kai Rolls. But Alfred, you can sort of understand why Minsk might be going a bit direct, because he's a real presence up there, whereas Hearts don't have the same presence. As he flicks it on here, Alfred, for Podstrelov, who wins the free kick. Penrice penalised.
I don't think Hearts are too happy about that. Penrice especially, you know, thinks there's nothing in it. I've got to agree, I don't think it was much in that. Maybe got a hold of his jersey on the way down.
Yeah, he's grabbed his jersey. It's very, yeah. He's had a handful of his jersey for a fleeting second there, but James Penrice, and pleaded his case to the Swedish referee, but it's a free kick to Minsk, almost in line with the right-hand side of the penalty area. And Igor steps over it. It's the left foot of Podstrelov onto the penalty spot, and Alfred's header.
Offside. You can see it straight away. I mean, Hearts held a really good line there, Thomas, is what we're asking them, because they're really vulnerable at set plays, and if they drop into the box, it then invites pressure. So what they've done, they've decided to hold the 18, and the Minsk player, maybe even probably 2 of them are offside there.
Yeah, it's a couple of times that's worked, as you say. Well, and Alfred's decent header, and here he is, the Minsk striker, trying to turn towards the goal, but he's a good 40 yards out from the target, and he has to go backwards to Politevich, the captain and centre half, and goal scorer for Hearts this evening, as Lapukov, another one who's in the squad to Belarus in the Nations League, to face Northern Ireland and Luxembourg next week. They've got 4 players in their squad called up, although Polyakov, one of the experienced defenders, misses out in this game, not in the squad. Here's Podstrelov down the right into Selyava, and Demchenko right hand side for Podstrelov, just in from the touchline, tries the low cross, blocked by Penrice, and it'll go for a throw-in. 1-1, Minsk Hearts, 56 nearly played.
And there's a change here. I think Vargas is coming on.
Yeah, it's going to be Vargas for Forest for Hearts.
No real surprise. I think he could have taken either wide man off, Forest or Barry Mackay. Either could have come off. It's been a difficult night for Forest. You know, he was at fault for the goal. He certainly played his part in it, not matching his runner. But he could have easily taken Mackay off as well.
No goals for Kenneth Vargas this season in his 10 appearances. Dropped from the starting 11 tonight. Can he make an impact off the bench? And here is Pigas down the right for Minsk, but it's intercepted by Mackay, who's kind of lazily running it out from defence, and he's had his pocket picked by Podstrelov. Now Demchenko, Podstrelov on the right-hand touchline, in line with the penalty area. Checks back under pressure from Beningame, rolls it back to Pigas, trying to work space for a cross, and then he has to go all the way back to Politevich, his captain and centre-back.
I don't know what Barry Mackay's thinking. I just don't. You know, he's 30 yards, surrounded by men, tries to take them on, loses the ball. It's not been a good performance from him, not one of his best.
Not been a great performance from Hearts, and yet it remains 1-1 as Minsk come forward down the left-hand side. Little pass attempted in behind the Hearts defence, but it's blocked, and now it's run out by Devlin and given away. Down they come the left-hand side for Minsk into Selyava. Now Amian nips it away. Can he open up the shooting angle? Slips it through to Podstrelov. Good tackle from Mackay, and then Alfred's header as it popped up to him. But again, it's straight at Craig Gordon. It remains 1-1.
Just gets a break of the ball in the box, and it goes straight to the centre forward, and his header thankfully goes straight at Craig Gordon. But you know, Minsk are starting to dominate the game. Hearts need to come up with something different. Vargas is on now, real pace in the wider areas. He'll take over from Forest, and hopefully they can get him on the ball. He can use his pace.
Yeah, the Belarus champions are starting to just crank up the pressure on Hearts, trying to put a bit more pressure on the back line as Kent goes again long with a right boot, and he's overhit it right over the head of Barry Mackay and out for a throw-in.
Teams work on patterns of play, and they're not doing it. They're not the midfielders are not angling for the ball, not being able to get away from their men. They're just going back to front. It's turgid stuff, really poor to watch.
And it's Minsk 1, Hearts 1, live on Sports on BBC Radio Scotland Extra. Full commentary to come from Ibrox. Rangers hosting Lyon in their second Europa League game of the season. Great win in Malmö last week, of course, in Azerbaijan. It's Minsk 1, Hearts 1 as Mackay knocks it back to Craig Gordon. We're approaching the hour mark, and we've had a couple of attempts on target in the second half, both Alfred headers. Comfortable for Craig Gordon, but Hearts have really been nowhere near the Minsk goal, and that's a poor touch from Rolls. Gets it to Mackay though, and then sweeps it infield, and that's actually worked out well because Shanklin picks it up in the centre circle. He gives it wide right to Vargas, and Now into Shanklin, right hand side of the box, and he takes the shot from way out, right to the box. It's blocked and away. Hearts probably need Shanklin in the middle of the penalty area. He's having to peel out wide to get the ball, but here's Beningame midway through the Minsk half, and back to Frankie Kent. Across the centre circle to Rolls. He's asking for an option, has to go square to Kent. Along the grass this time to Cammy Devlin. Devlin, that's better through the lines to Vargas. Little jink from the Costa Rican into Shanklin. Turns, edge of the box, little foot in to prevent Shanklin taking the strike on goal, and it's back for Beningame. Penrice, Mackay, touches a bit clumsy, but it's kept hold of. Mackay gets it back from Penrice as he comes in the pitch, back to Rolls. Sweeping pass with the left boot to Devlin, and Beningame better from Hearts.
Much better. Control of the ball, everyone wanting it. Vargas has made a difference already, coming on and running at the left back.
Here's Mackay. They've had to go backwards again though, but they need to not let Minsk step up. They need a forward pass. It goes forward to Devlin on the halfway line, and then Kent square for Rolls. And Minsk have done their job as they forced Hearts to start again. Hearts need patience as we hit the hour mark. In Sumgayit, it's 1-1. Conference League opener for these teams. Down the line, Pigas header infield, but it's only as far as Shanklin flicks it forward, and then it's stepped onto by Spittle, left-hand side of the box. He passes it back to Barry Mackay. He doesn't have much space to work with. Two white jerseys in front of him. Gives it back to Spittle. The pass is under hit, but it's still away to Shanklin. Gets it on the right. First, Lauren Shanklin. Goalkeeper pushes it away, and that's Hearts' best attempt from their captain, Lauren Shanklin. Good save, Lapikov.
That was great play from Hearts. There's a lot of passes involved there. Mackay goes down the line. Spittle wins it, brings it back. Eventually, it goes into Shanklin's feet. Bit fortuitous, might have been a foul on Spittle. Shanklin one touch out of his feet, next one to try and bend it in that far corner. He's not far away. Keeper dives fully to his left hand side, knocks it away.
Yeah, we can see what he was trying to do, almost start outside the post and come in. It was just a wee bit too far inside Lapikov's left hand upright, and it curled into the keeper's path, but he still had to get out at near full stretch to push that away, and that's much better from Hearts. An attempt on target for a start. And patient play.
Exactly. It all came from patient play. It's not come from a lump up the park, 50-60 yards. It's passing through the lines, into the midfield, into the wider area, set back, set off. Shanklin gets the shot.
Barry Mackay corner on the far side. Right hand delivery, right-footed delivery, but it was near post, edge of the 6-yard box. No height on it, really poor.
Poor again, poor again. This is what's so frustrating. Hearts have scored a goal from an in-swinging corner from the right-hand side with Penrice taking it. So why do you stop doing it? Why do you give it to someone, in Barry Mackay's case here, who's not having the best night, who's hit two out the park needlessly under no pressure? Do what brings you success. Get Penrice over there and let him take the next one.
Yeah, Barry Mackay has not had a great night in terms of the deliveries at all. Hearts throw in on the far side in their own half, but after Minsk started to take a bit of hold of the game, they had a couple of headers through Alfred. Hearts have responded well there with that Shanklin effort, but it remains 1-1. And the two first half goals, Alfred sweeping in Lopez cross for Minsk before Penrice corner was turned into his own net by the Minsk captain, Sergei Politevich. And that is how things stand at the moment in terms of the scoreline. But we need some inspiration.
Yeah. It's been better, certainly been better, and it all comes with playing into passing the ball and moving, having triangles so that they've got options all the time instead of it just going 50-60 yards into up to Shanklin.
Big switch to Pigas. He's in line with the edge of the penalty area. Right footed cross into the near post, it's left, and then Alfred was sliding in. He shouldn't have been able to get on the end of that ball. It came in, and I think Kent maybe has made the challenge. Pigas back to Dimchenko. Dimchenko gets it back right hand side of the box. Good challenge from Lauren Shanklin back doing defensive duties, and Hearts are able to clear. But Alan, that switch was on all day long. Hearts got pulled
very narrow
over to the left hand side.
Penrice is over pivot and he's in too much where he's trying to protect the centre half, which I get, but the ball's on all the time to the wide right.
And Rolls has to come out.
Penrice is taking a knock to the head here.
Yeah, he's gone down. He's taken a dunt. James Penrice back in the 11 this evening after his summer move from Livingston. Was a consistent performer for David Martindale over a few seasons. making the step up to Hearts, but here on we go. He's back up, Pigas, and then Demchenko down the right hand side. He's away from one, puts the cross in. It's not a great one, doesn't beat the first man at the near post, drops for Spittle, who hooks it away, and then it's ballooned back up towards the edge of the box. Breaks for Barry Mackay, who knocks a little pass nicely over to Shanklin, and Shanklin returns it to Mackay on the halfway line, left hand side, but again it's a poor pass from Barry Mackay. And
get him off. Honestly, I would get Barry Mackay off.
Yeah, it's perhaps a surprise he's lasted till the 65th minute, you have to say.
Listen, I've been there myself when I'm not having a good night, and you're trying everything and it's just nothing's coming off for you.
And when you've not played not an awful lot of football, and not just this season, but over the course of a year and a bit, really, he's not played an awful lot of football. Hard to get up to speed, I suppose.
Yeah, it's very as I said in the first half, Thomas, he's got brilliant qualities. He's having an off night, and we all have them. I had many in my career.
Here come Minsk, left corner of the box. Amian square, and Pigas has a go, and then it's Selyava. In fact, it's now broken for Pigas, the right full-back, Belarus international. Goes to Demchenko. Penrice puts the little nudge in, does well. Now he's trying to hold off the challenge of Podstrelov, and he's got the free kick, which was invaluable, and it's one of those frustrating one managers hate, where he's going nowhere and you give away the foul.
I think Penrice goes down easy here. I think he just throws himself to the ground. Lands on top of the ball.
Referees always give
that. If you land on top of the ball, it's always difficult for the referee to wave play on.
Yeah, he was back facing his own goal on the left-hand side.
Cute.
Under pressure from Podstrelov, and he just felt the contact went down and bought the free kick, much to the frustration of the Belarusian player. And it's sent long by Craig Gordon, the Hearts keeper. Shanklin goes in with the challenge, doesn't get there. He does have it now though, trying to hold off white jerseys, but he's swamped, and then he's given away a free kick, I think, for a jersey pull. Hearts captain. He was having his own jersey pulled as well there, to be fair. And then he's just kind of went out in frustration to try and stop the counter. Here is Sachikov for Minsk at the back. It's Minsk 1, Hearts 1, Conference League opener, live on Sports Sound. As it's played forward, left-hand side, Forrester with a really good challenge. Knocks it back to Gordon, who sends it long. Selyava up in the air, flicked on by the midfielder, and Selyava backwards. And Hearts, having had that little passage of play that led to the Shanklin chance, they just seem to have retreated again.
Yeah, it's now Minsk that are on the front foot. A lot of switch plays from them, from left to outside right. They're getting a bit of joy down this right-hand side. Pigas is down here. He's one that's playing high up the park as a fullback.
Yeah, he's pushed right on, and Hearts are, as you mentioned before, tucked in. Here's Benny Amian.
He's on again if they can get it out to him.
And that's where they're going. Played in front of Pigas. He's got Devlin in front of him. Twisting and turning. Pigas gets to the byline, cross in. Blocked by Kent. Penrice, sorry. And then it pops up for Barry Mackay on the touchline. He's done well to get someone on that. That's not the best clearance, in fairness. And then offside. So Hearts will get the free kick and some relief from that pressure. 68 minutes gone in Azerbaijan. It's Minsk 1, Hearts 1.
As we were touched on with the format of every European trophy changing now, you just wondered, the managers sit and they would take the draw. You know, it's a point, yeah, I get that, but can you not go and try and force the win? Are Hearts going to win the Conference League? No, they're not. Go for it. I would be throwing Oda on, or a Boyce on, or just try and win the game.
Yeah, we mentioned their fixtures. Ammonia Nicosia at the end of the month, Heidenheim also at Tynecastle, then Bruges away, Copenhagen away, Petrocub away at home at the end to finish. It's a real chance for Hearts, albeit all those clubs apart from Cercle Bruges are doing pretty well domestically at the moment, unlike Hearts. But if they can get a new manager in and pick up, then maybe a point here doesn't look so bad when you look back on it.
Yeah, but I also think they could rue this as well, because I think there's a chance to get 3.
Penrice is forced to clear as Hearts are turned by a long ball out on this near side. Pigas with a quick throw in to Selyava, back to Pigas. The Minsk manager Skripchenko, former Belarus international, out pointing and gyrating to his players. Wants some urgency, because he too will feel this is absolutely there for Minsk has a lovely ball through, and they want a free kick. I think that Seljava just slipped, and it goes back, chased down by Vargas. Forward, flick to Alfred, takes a touch on the thigh, edge of the box. He's trying to use his strength. Hearts players go down, and they get the free kick. Gordon claimed it anyway. 1-all.
Good play. Alfred just bullies the two of them. Rolls and Kent shoves them both out the way in the end there. It's a free kick. But you know what? He's a handful. He's a big lad. You can see the strength of him.
Yeah, I watched some of the highlights of Minsk playing Anderlecht in their Europa League playoff, and he gave the Anderlecht defence a bad time. And to be fair, they created quite a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Lost both legs 1-0, sorry. And but were rather unfortunate, particularly in the game in Hungary, their notional home game. They had chances really to win that tie and get into the Europa League.
Cammy Devlin booked,
yeah. Foul in the middle of the pitch, and let's see, yellow cards. I think it's the first of the evening, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And
would you have predicted it would have been him?
Yes, probably.
It's a foul. You know, he's caught him on the left.
Yeah,
inside of the left.
A sore one for
it's a sore one.
Pedro Igor, a Brazilian winger. He just stretches to try and win it from behind, and he just catches him on the ankle. It's a booking all day long for the Australian. Recently signed a new deal at Hearts to take and stay to Tynecastle to 2026. As a free kick comes in for Minsk, Alfred goes up, gets another header on it. He's got a great leap on him, but again, it's comfortable enough for Craig Gordon.
But a handful, a real handful. You can see him, he leads the line well. He's given Rose and Kent a tough night. He seems to be bullying them physically as well, and everything that's going in that box, he's won.
We're into the final 20 minutes in Sumgayit, Azerbaijan. It's still 1-1. Conference League is Hearts get the free kick in their own half, but they've barely been out of their own half in the last 3-4 minutes. And it looks a lot of the similar players. Hearts, obviously they're missing a player like Cochrane, but it's night and day to last season. The Hearts team of last season would be a lot more front foot and filled with confidence in this, and I wonder just how low confidence is for them.
Well, that's it. You know, people say, oh, you've got a European run. They've not really. This has just started, and they've not hit the ground running well. I didn't think they played enough games in pre-season, to be honest. You know, it took time to get up to speed. They start the season well, and then against Rangers, you think they can build on that. Go to Dundee, really, really poor performance, and from then on, it's been downhill.
Well, they're facing an 11th game this season without a victory, unless they can find something in the final 20 or so here. And they have got a throw-in up towards the Minsk penalty area, right-hand side. And as the empty stands bear down on Forrester as he throws it into Vargas, controls it, shimmies away from one, but he's still well marshalled. But he's managed to find a gap, Vargas, and then his cross is low, but doesn't beat the first man. Did well to get the space, and it goes up to Alfred, who just controls it and then manages to keep it for Minsk.
Brilliant centre-forward play again by Alfred.
And here he is, first time pass to Seljava, nicks it away from one, and then goes with a big switch to Pigas. It's not the best pass, it's bouncing, and Pigas has to get rid of it as he's closed down, but again it's up to Alfred. Again he's there battling Rolls, who wins it on this occasion, but it comes back to the big striker, tries to turn away from Rolls, who gets a challenge in. It breaks for Cammy Devlin in the centre circle. He's got Vargas to his right, feeds him the ball along the deck. Vargas one-on-one, trying to come inside, gives it to Binningame, and then to Spittle. Vargas back now to Kent and Rolls, and Hearts just a bit narrow at the moment, and then it goes wide. That's better for Mackay, just in from the touchline, gives it to Penrice. Penrice rolls it down the line looking for Mackay, but it's well marshalled by Benny Amian, used his strength and just saw it out for a goal kick. It's Minsk 1, Hearts 1, 73.5 played.
I think Hearts are going to make a change here. And do you think Devlin, do you take him off because he's been yellow carded? You can't run the risk with 15 to go. Every time he gets booked, he puts himself under pressure to be substituted.
Yeah, and he is coming off, and it's going to be George Grant who is going to come on to replace Cammy Devlin. Jan Danda's on as well, so well, George Grant's number went up on the board there, so Mackay has also come off, so Barry Mackay has been withdrawn and Jan Danda is on. So we've got Danda and Grant on for Hearts as they try and turn this point as it stands into 3.
Again, people will say Danda's come on wide left. It's not where he played for County, but needs must, and I think that Mackay had ran his race. He had to come off.
And Danda finds Shankland. He's up to the left-hand corner of the box, comes in on the right foot, low right-footed finish, trying to find that far corner again, but didn't have the power.
No, it was decent enough play, and you can see what Shankland's trying to do, get it on his right foot, cuts inside, doesn't get a good enough strike on it. Thomas, last year they were flying in the top corner.
Yeah, I have to say the surface doesn't look amazing.
I'm wondering, I don't know if I've seen this before, did they have AstroTurf down at one point? I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems to be quite sticky and dry, and it's a good run. This from Igor, the left winger, and now Minsk into the box. Alfred on the edge, lays it off to Igor, shot blocked by Kent, and headed further up the park by Danda, but it comes straight back. Pigas plays it out to the right-hand side. Cross comes in, and again Alfred's up, can't gather, controlled by Amian. Now on the edge of the box for Minsk, no space, Hearts. And a lovely little flick on the edge of the box. And it's a strike from Siljava, and it sails over Craig Gordon's crossbar.
Yeah, a bit of pressure there for Minsk, and eventually the shot comes. Craig Gordon's got it covered. It's about 2 or 3 yards over the bar. Hearts player starting to look a little bit leggy. It's a far journey, a long journey. I don't know what the weather conditions like. It looks quite humid there as well.
Yeah, and they are going straight to Aberdeen, 3,000 miles back, and going straight up there and training there ahead of Sunday's Premiership encounter with the high-flying 12 wins from 12 Aberdeen. So it doesn't get any easier for Hearts at this moment in time. You back a, well, I was going to say you'd back a confident Hearts team at Pittodrie, but their record there is not good.
Great,
so,
no.
So maybe you wouldn't, but sometimes these records come to an end in the most mysterious ways. So we shall see come Sunday. That's live on Sports Sounds. As Hearts come forward, Spittle spreads it to Danda on the left-hand touchline. He's trying to size up player in front of him. It's square from Danda to Beningame, then to Spittle. Left-hand side, Grant. Now Penrice, Grant in the field to Danda. A little bit of space for him to work with. Good footwork. Sends it towards the back post. Header away from Minsk. And that move breaks down, and there's a pass through now as Amian launches the counter. And here comes Adeola, the substitute winger, who's got pace. He tries to stab it towards the player in the box, but it goes through to Gordon, 1-1.
Yeah, Hearts have livened it up a bit with Danda coming on, Grant coming on, Vargas coming on. They just need to get Vargas on the ball if they can. He's got real good pace. He likes to take people on. Can he win free kicks, corners, high up the park? Can he get into the final third? Beningame's gone down.
Benny Beningame has been...
You wonder if it's... Hopefully it's just cramp.
Yeah, well, he obviously had a calf issue that's kept him out at the start of the season. Obviously had that 14 months out with a knee problem before that. He's a talented player, but he's rarely been able to get a serious run for Hearts in terms of game time.
They're not stretching anything. The physio's just speaking to him.
Yeah, concern here.
Now they're beginning to stretch.
Because he's
been the best player for me, for Hearts. He's been very good. But you worry about his knee. You know, he was out a long time with a knee injury. They've got Boateng there on the bench, which is an ideal replacement for him if need be. You can't take any chances with Benny Beningame. You just can't. You know, he's an important player when he's fit, but you can see him, he's shaking his head. He must be so frustrated. He seems to start to get up to speed, and then an injury happens.
Yeah, he looks almost a bit confused, Benny Beningame, as he starts to walk off the pitch. He's moving pretty gingerly. And Macaulay Tate is being readied rather than Boateng. I mean, Boateng was left out the Matchday squad altogether on Saturday against Ross County by Liam Fox, and now he's not called upon here. I wonder what that says, or whether he's carrying something, I don't know. But
you'd have thought, but listen, Macaulay Tate's a good young player and he'll give you everything he's got in the Hearts jersey, but you'd have thought Boateng with the experience, you know, away from home. But you know what, good on you, Liam Fox.
Yeah, he's gone for it. Sent a statement out there to put the youngster on before more experienced players, albeit Boateng himself is only 22, but
a lot more experienced he is than Tate. But Tate's a good, fine young player.
Yeah, he's on for his first appearance of the season, debut in that win at Celtic Park last season under Stephen Naismith. How things can change in football in the space of 10 months as George Grant comes forward. He gets towards the edge of the 6-yard box, just couldn't regather it, and Lapakov, the goalkeeper, came and did his job to prevent Grant getting a free shot on goal.
Yeah,
1-1.
He's unlucky there. Shanklin rolls him in and the ball's coming out the sky. It's a nice touch from Grant, just can't get on the end of it, and the keeper comes out and collects it, but decent enough play.
Minsk 1, Hearts 1. Commentary from Ibrox to come. 8 o'clock kickoff there in the Europa League. Hearts level in their Conference League opener. First of 6 games for them in this revamped league phase. Not the 8 games like they play in the Europa League or the Champions League, which are already into their second match days this week. Hearts last fixture 19th of December at home to Petrokub of Moldova. We'll see what state they're in there and who might be in the dugout, as well as Minsk come down the left-hand side. They want a winner. Here's Siljava, chips it into the box. It's over everyone, and that'll go behind for a goal kick. 80 minutes and a half on the clock. It's 1-1.
It was good awareness from Penrice there. You can see the ball's clipped up. It's just a little nudge on the Minsk player. Steps off him, lets it run out for a bye kick.
Craig Gordon with the ball between his gloves. You have to say, he's not really been tested too much or at all, really, apart from the goal, which he had no chance with.
Yeah, and no chance with the goal, you're right. And the Minsk keeper's had a couple of saves from Shanklin, and that's really been about it. You know, as where Hearts are not, they're now not dropping off to take it at the back. They're just going to leave Craig to try and get it up the pitch. But they've got legs. They've got, obviously with Vargas, Danda, fresh legs coming on with George Grant as well, and young Macaulay Tate, who'll run all day for you.
It's Minsk though with the ball. A throw in far side, just in the Hearts half. Forward to Siljavan round the corner, back to the centre backs. Here's Politevich in the centre circle. Forwards, takes it on the right foot, chips it to Pigas on the right hand side again. Ball in, read by Rolls and away, brought down and played into the path of Danda, who's dribbling over the halfway line. He's pursued by 2 white shirts, but he gets it away to Shanklin, middle of the pitch. Then over to George Grant, right hand side. The pass is too far in front and it goes for Spittle anyway. Then wide to Penrice. He's one-on-one with his full back, but goes backwards. Now it's Rolls across to Kent. 82 on the clock. And still Minsk 1, Hearts 1. Here's Grant trying to fend off Benny Amian, the Ivory Coast midfielder. Then Rolls halfway line along the deck to Penrice. Penrice goes for the cross from deep. Shanklin's in there, takes it on the chest for Vargas, left-hand side of the box. Vargas for Penrice, cross in, Shanklin beyond him, and Amian heads it back to his left back, who clears it up the pitch towards Alfred, but it's well won by Tate, I think. That's Grant.
Well done, Birch better.
The foul is given in Hearts' favour, about 25, 30 yards out.
There's an opportunity. Penrice has got a lovely left foot. We know how good Spittle is from set plays as well. His time at Motherwell and Ross County. So here's an opportunity for Hearts.
Beg your pardon, it was Frankie Kent who came steaming up from the back to win that foul from Siljava. Came in the back of him, and this could be handy for Hearts. Just the 5 goals in 11 games so far this season. They just need one here to get themselves in front in the closing stages.
Well, it's 30 yards there, 30 odd yards.
I remember Danda, he's lining out. He scored one at Tynecastle for Ross County last season.
Beauty.
And he's now in Hearts colours, and he fancies it. Everyone else has left it. It's Jan Danda. He goes with the right foot, and it's well wide of the target in the end. Bit ambitious.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. I think Minsk are going to make another change here. But it was an opportunity for, I mean, there's so many. Penrice with his left. Spittle scored spectacular goals over his career. Danda, as you said, scores free kicks like that for fun, but not tonight. Just as the danger man for me, Alfred, comes off.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. Stephen Alfred scored the goal, of course. Lovely sweeping finish into the far corner beyond Gordon to give Minsk the lead, and his work's done. And it's Trofim Melnichenko comes on, just 18 years old. He's good talent. Belarus under-21 international.
Yeah, I thought he would have started, if I'm being honest. I thought he's been in decent form. I thought he would have been the one that would have started. But when you see Alfred and what he brings to the team, you can see why they've started him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've got high hopes. Belarus for him. Melnichenko made his international debut last month at just 18. 85 almost on the clock, and Hearts have the ball in the centre circle. 1-1. Rolls. He's moved that onto the left foot and given it to Danda. Jinks in from the touchline. Still some way to go, but Spittles prods it forward for Penrice. He's hotly pursued by Pigas. Has to go backwards to Macaulay Tate, and then he manages to move away from the winger, and then concedes a throw in. Penrice as it's smacked off him, and Minsk will have the put in. Melnichenko, well, not sure about the tattoo on his neck, to be fair. Lips.
No fancy that, Thomas.
That's a game of opinions at the end of the day. Not quite sure myself. But Hearts with a throw in now. Penrice clutches it in front of the interim boss Liam Fox. And can Hearts find something? They might only need one moment at this stage, and they've got a corner kick. The subs have made a difference, Alan.
They have, they certainly have. They've given them energy, they've given them enthusiasm. Macaulay Tate's coming on, young boy that knows nothing more than to work hard. You know, so the subs have certainly given Hearts a better chance in this match.
Final 4 minutes of the 90. Minsk 1, Hearts 1, live on Sportsound. Danda is going to take this corner for Heart of Midlothian as they search for a winner in their Conference League opener. Right-footed. Back post, Shanklin gets a header on it. It's blocked as it was heading towards goal. Prodded forward and claimed by the goalkeeper.
I'm wondering if he could have put his foot through it. You know, it was a really good effort by Shanklin. As it comes back, is it Kent or Rose? Is it? Could he put his foot through it to try to clip it and place it into the corner?
Yeah, that was a decent chance. And now Shanklin's going after this one. The goalkeeper has to come out, and he's chested it away from Shanklin. Did that hit his arm? No fans to appeal, but play on. Pigas down the right-hand side, and he's found Raymond Adeola, and he's floated that to the back post. Chance here for Amian, trying to get round the edge. It's fired in, and it's past Craig Gordon's near post with a strike.
A chance at either side there. You know, Hearts are pushing players up for that corner. Good effort there in the end, and it's quickly up the other end. Here's the corner coming in. I think the Shanklin header is a decent one. You know, Vargas almost gets across the front of it. Then it's Shanklin again. I think he's trying to place it.
It hits back off Kent's shoulder as well, I think, on the way through to the goalkeeper. It's a decent header from Lauren Shanklin. It was or a decent attempt in the first place. It was going on target, albeit not at pace, but the defender was in the way.
Just wonder if Vargas could have redirected it into the other way.
Yeah, that's set pieces have been Hearts' best avenue. As it goes long from Craig Gordon, and it's flicked out by Minsk for a throw on the far side.
It's definitely been better from Hearts in the last 7-8 minutes.
Yeah, the likes of Vargas, Grant, Tate, Danda all made a difference off the bench as the clock hits 88 minutes. Still 1-1. Commentary from Ibrox to come after the conclusion of this match in Azerbaijan as it's thrown into Shanklin, right-hand corner of the box. Turns and tries to force it to Grant, but it's turned over, and Minsk come away up the left-hand side, and it's off Forrester for a Minsk throw-in.
Every time the ball goes out, you can hear Liam Fox, because there's no crowd, shape, you can hear him demanding from the team.
Minsk throw in their own half, thrown over the halfway line, up in the air, and Hearts send it long. Shanklin goes up, misses it, and then Sashivko puts it up in the air, and then
that should be a booking.
A tangle.
That's twice he's caught Penrice at left back. Now he's up. Now he's caught.
That's the youngster Melnichenko, I think.
Is it Forrester he's caught there? Leads with the left arm.
Yeah, he's barged him in the head. No elbow, but it's the side of the arm, straight into the side of Forrester's head. Over-eager, clumsy challenge from the teenager. And Forrester gets up, he's got a bit of a grimace on.
He's been excellent again, really good performance from a young man.
Yeah, and he does really look like a good athlete. Gets up and down really well, physical as well. Big switch from the free kick, bounces on the edge of the box, cleared by Minsk. And Spittle claiming for the free kick, goes down, and Minsk are awarded the foul in the middle of the pitch. And we've got 20 seconds left of the 90. Minsk 1, Hearts 1. No goals in the second half. And Spittle, square, and it's launched forward, but it's miles in front of Shanklin, and you can see the frustration on Lawrence Shanklin's face.
Shanklin drops off to come and get it. Just needs to clip it in, Penrice.
Yeah, overzealous as the clock hits 90, and they've got 4 minutes added at the end of the 90, so 4 minutes for either side to find a winner. Lapakov goes long the goalkeeper, and now it's forwards.
That ball's been on all night. That switch.
Yeah, switch to Pigas in front of Penrice. Cross flashed in. Really good one as well. But no one in white could get on the end of it, and Craig Gordon was waiting to swallow it up.
A really good take from Craig Gordon. But that's something that, you know, Hearts have been vulnerable there in the left back area. Penrice over pivots. He's trying to protect his centre half. He's got to get his distances better. That switch play to Pigas has been on all night.
Yeah. And we've played nearly one of the 4 added. 1-1. Hearts with the ball at the back. Right centre back Frankie Kent for his partner Kai Rolls. Wide to Danda. Left hand side, but he's almost at the halfway line. Now Tate for Kent. Kent forward, and that's good round the corner from Grant. Then Tate fizzes it into Shanklin, who was looking to do that, but doesn't reach Shanklin's. That was that's well won in the middle of the park by Tate, but again Shanklin can't pounce on it, and Minsk are able to clear all the way down to Craig Gordon. And neither side have managed to come up with the inspiration to nudge back in front.
I think a draw at the moment, Thomas, if it's going to end like that with 2 minutes to go, is a fair result. I think neither side deserves to win, and probably neither side deserves to lose. It's been very even, as we touched on at the start of the game. It was going to be tight, we expected it. But I think I would imagine that Liam Fox will think, and as a Hearts fan looking at it, it's a chance gone if they don't win this.
Yeah, because Minsk have been, as we expected really, they've been stubborn opposition, decent flashes up the other end, but you know, you've got to say average overall.
Yeah, completely. They'll play a lot better sides in the other 5 games.
Yeah, 100%. As it's fired up, the Minsk free kick towards the edge of the Hearts box, headed away. Shanklin does really well to battle with Siljava, but eventually it doesn't fall for him. There's Amian wide to the winger, comes in field, battling with Danda, who gets a foot in, and then he's helped out by Tate, who nudges it to Spittle. And Hearts on the counter here as George Grant in the half gives it back to Shanklin, slightly behind Shanklin, but he manages to recover and gives it to the right hand side. Here's Vargas. Vargas right corner of the box. He's coming in field. Edge of the box, Macaulay Tate tried to play it into the area, gets it back. Now Spittle, 35 yards out, tries to curl one into the box, but it's poor.
Tired pass from Spittle.
Yeah, just a lazy swipe of the leg, and it didn't beat the first man.
He'd been better coming out to the left hand side. Penrice was on, better angle for the cross.
We're into the final minute of the 4 added at the end of the 90. It's still Minsk 1, Hearts 1 in this Conference League opener. Both sides, apologies if you picked up any language over the mics there, as we say, empty stadium. Thrown down the touchline for Hearts. Vargas spinning, Shanklin coming into the middle of the pitch, breaks for Grant, he's going to keep this in on the byline, hooks it across, Lawrence Shanklin round the back, and then Jan Danda heads into the bottom corner! Hearts have won it in the final 30 seconds! Jan Danda with his first Hearts goal, and what a time to get it! and it is going to surely give Heart of Midlothian their first win of the season and get their Conference League campaign up and running. Dinamo Minsk 1, Heart of Midlothian 2.
And we said Saturday with the Shanklin goal late on, well, it's kickstart their career. This would be a brilliant result for them. They get to the byline, it's clipped back. They get the break of the ball. Shanklin gets the break of the ball for centre half. It goes into Grant, who plays it across back post. Shanklin knocks it back, and there's Jan Danda, middle of the 6-yard box, knocking it into the back of the net. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's a great ball in from Grant, it really is. And Shanklin does the right thing. Back across the goal where the balls came from, and there's Danda, right on his head, knocking it into the back of the net. Brilliant stuff.
And the whole Hearts bench erupted there and sprinted forward in delight. Liam Fox, teeth clenched, fist pumping. Huge goal, huge goal for Hearts. Not only for their Conference League hopes, but just generally in their season. We're awaiting a check, of course, as all goals are, Marco De Bello. But it's given. It's given. The goal will stand. And now Minsk pile it forward. We've played the allotted 4 added. We'll have another 30 seconds or so after that goal went in. Hearts need to see out the closing moments of this game.
Get out the box if they can. Got to push up.
Thrown into the corner of the box. Headed away. Only a few yards as Vargas can't get to it. It's fired into the area. Headed away. And there is a full-time whistle. And Hearts' miserable start to the season, miserable winless run ends in Azerbaijan in the most dramatic of fashions. Jan Danda with his first Hearts goal in the 94th minute wins it against Dinamo Minsk. What a moment in Hearts' season. Could it be the springboard? Big 3 points for Liam Fox as he goes on the pitch to shake hands. And they've had to come from behind as well. They trailed in the first half, 21 minutes. Brilliant move down the left-hand side. Lopez teed up Alfred, who was a nightmare to deal with all evening, swept it home. Past Craig Gordon into the bottom corner. Hearts were toiling, really, but managed to get level before the break when Penrice's corner deflected in via Politevich, the Minsk captain, to bring them level. And in the second half, the subs really made the difference. They emptied the bench, and it gave them much more impetus. And one of those replacements, Jan Danda, popped up in the box after George Grant's cross, found Shanklin. He headed it towards the target, and Danda, from just a few yards out, glanced it home. And to give Hearts a massive victory, their first of the season at the 11th attempt, and their Conference League campaign is up and running. Full time in Azerbaijan. It has finished. Dinamo Minsk 1, Heart of Midlothian 2.
Hearts in the UEFA Conference League.
Live on